I am particularly excited to be the one bringing you the news at the end of the year. My name is Gifty Andopia. Welcome to our primetime bulletin here on Joy News on Multi TV and also on ABN TV across Europe. Let's take a look at our headlines tonight. So quite packed one. President John Dramani Mahama assures Ghanaians of a prosperous 2015 and promises to listen to their concerns. Fire has gutted the Dome markets, destroying properties running into thousands of Ghana cedis. Chief Executive Officer of the National Petroleum Authority, Moses Sasaga, has announced a 10% reduction in fuel prices beginning January 1st, 2015. The Samarboy and Asankregua cocoa roads in the Amenfi West District of the Western Region are to be rehabilitated following Joy News' expose of the bad nature of those roads. Also in this bulletin, we bring you some interesting catchphrases and themes that churches are using this year to draw more worshippers to their watch night services. On the international front, revelers across the globe have gathered in New Zealand and Australia to usher in New Year's Day. We have all these and more coming up in the next hour. Please stay with us. President John Mahama has assured Ghanaians of a prosperous 2015 and has promised to listen to their concerns. In a nationwide telecast that lasted about 10 minutes, the president assured Ghanaians that he will be responsible. He's asking Ghanaians to be responsible in their criticism of government.
The losses this year seem to be many. A number of us mourned the departure of loved ones, people whose absence will always be felt in our lives. Together, Ghanaians also mourn the departure of several of our nation's prominent sons and daughters, individuals who served this country with pride and distinction, individuals whose contribution will still be felt far into the future. In 2014, we were reminded again and again of the value of human life. We were reminded that our fates as citizens of this country and our sister nations of the African continent are forever intertwined. And we use these reminders to bring us to a place of triumph as a nation. So beyond listening and beyond hearing, I want to also assure you, my fellow Ghanaians, that your feedback is also being incorporated into programs, policy, and planning of this government. We must not forget, however, that Ghana is a nation of millions, and that while we all share the goal of a peaceful and prosperous Ghana, we will not always agree on how we should meet that goal. But it is through the healthy exchange of ideas and information that we are often able to find or establish a common ground. So it's important that as we make our voices heard, we also respect the rights of others to have their voices heard as well. If we are to work together for the greater good of our nation, communicate responsibly, criticizing constructively and focusing on solutions instead of merely dwelling on the negative, defending our opinions without devolving into threats or acts of violence. These are just a few ways that we can strengthen our union. And working together despite our seeming differences and all the superficial divisions, we will surely find that no challenge is insurmountable. My brothers and sisters, the new year before us holds a wide expanse of possibilities. Let us choose to fill the days ahead of us with hope and not despair. When we look ahead, let us see all that we can achieve, and let us work individually and collectively in the interest of progress.
President John Mahama there with his New Year's address. Now, one person is feared dead in a fire that gutted some shops in Dome in Accra. About 20 shops are believed to have been affected in the blaze, which started about 2 p.m. on Wednesday. The fire has destroyed properties running into several thousands of Ghana cedis. and emergency services, including personnel of the fire service and the police, were at the scene to put out the fire. Some affected could not hold back their tears following the destruction of the properties and wares in the fire outbreak. The cause of the fire is yet to be determined. Chief Executive of the National Petroleum Authority, NPA, Osei Asare, has announced a 10% reduction in fuel prices, which is effective January 1st, 2015. Speaking on News Today on Joy News, the NPA boss said the decision was as a result of a balanced position of continuous effort to reduce outstanding under-recoveries and at the same time reflect falling prices of the petroleum product on the world market.
I think that we needed to look at, first of all, what is the trend of the international prices for crude oil. Then also we needed to look at the international prices trend for products, because there's a difference between products and then crude oil. Everything that we've been announcing have been crude oil price drop, crude oil price drop. But we go a step further to look at what is the FOB prices, petrol, on diesel, on LPG. And then after studying the price decrease, we think that this is now the right time for us to be able to make a 10% decrease for motorists and at the same time to be able to save something for EDCs to pay the debt, because the debt is not yet complete. We have paid almost 260 million cedis in the last 3 months, and we are still left with 170 million cedis. So as of today, we are going to pay 45 million cedis in the next 2 weeks. That will bring their balance to about maybe 90 to 110 million cedis. At the same time, been able to reduce prices by 10%, reflecting petroleum, that is FOB petroleum prices.
At what point should we expect it to reflect at the pumps?
Oh, it is going to be tomorrow morning, 6 a.m.
From the 1st of January?
Yes, 1st of January.
Some Mamprusi youth in the Upper East Region town of Boku say they will continue to stay away from the inter-ethnic peace negotiations unless they are allowed to celebrate the Damba festival. Correspondent Albert Sori filed the following report.
The government initiated the Boku Inter-Ethnic Peace Committee to bring lasting peace after years of conflict in the area. But the Mamprusi ethnic group later boycotted the committee's proceedings. At a press conference in Boku on Tuesday, the youth in the area said they will only return to peace negotiations if they are allowed to celebrate the festival, just like their Kusasi compatriots are allowed to celebrate the Samampir festival. Abuka Sadiq Guma addressed the press conference.
It will be recalled that when the Kusasi celebrated the Samampir festival on the 31st December 2009, the Atamese government permitted them and provided security for them to celebrate. When the Mamprusis observed the Damba festival on the 20th May 2010, the government stopped them by deploying security into the Mamprusi area with an order from the National Security Boss, Bevlo Latte, to shoot and kill if we insist on observing the festival. Again, in 2011, the government deployed about 500 security men, including SWAT teams, to stop the Damba festival from taking place, even though there was a roadmap drafted and agreed upon by the then representatives of all the ethnic groups in the erstwhile Boku Inter-Ethnic Peace Committee, that all the ethnic groups in the municipality should be permitted to observe their cultural festivals without hindrance. This act made the Mamprusis to withdraw from the Peace Committee. Honorable Mak Oyongo is a witness to this. The only move we should pursue to be able to restore peace in Boku is for the government to give equal treatment and recognition to both factions. We would like to reiterate that any other move contrary to this will not make us achieve our aim and will only be a misuse and waste of the taxpayers' money and logistics of the state.
Meanwhile, Abdullahi Musa, former municipal chief executive of Mamprushi, is asking the youth not to fuel passions, but allow the peace process to take its course. A report by Albert Sorry.
The Upper West Regional Minister has advocated the use of the rule of law to resolve disputes rather than arms within the region. The call comes in the wake of recent communal land conflict in the region, which he says is giving it a bad name. Speaking at the fellow festival at Lambusi, Amin Amidu Suleimani said the region is noted to be relatively peaceful and that there will never be a winner in such conflict.
The Mfilo celebrated by the chiefs and people of the Lambusi traditional area, is an annual event to show appreciation to God for his guidance and protection during the year. It is also an occasion to exhibit and preserve the rich culture and tradition of the people. The festival also brought together sons and daughters of the Lambusi traditional area to deliberate on development challenges facing the area. Paramount Chief of the Lambusi traditional area, Koro Salifu Dayaka, enumerated some of the challenges facing the traditional area and called on the government to come to their aid.
Education in the district faces serious challenges. This is because while there may be classrooms for the school children, I'm told that the academic performance of these children is falling from year to year. Many factors account for this state, but significant among them is lack of teachers and textbooks, I'm told. May I therefore call on the government, the GS, and the Ministry of Education, and the District Assembly to provide these textbooks and also post teachers here to manage the situation. We, the chiefs, promise to contribute our quota in any way anybody can suggest, and from our own thinking to help solve this problem.
Upper West Regional Minister Amin Amidu Suleimani stated the region is noted to be relatively peaceful, with the three dominant groups, notably Dagabas, Sisalas and Walas, coexisting peacefully. However, recent events in the region, especially communal clashes in Wa, have given the region a bad name, and this has a tendency of reversing the clock of development.
You were all told about 2 months ago, you had some conflict just between two sections, Dondoli and Yejere. 2 nights ago, it erupted again, leading to the shooting of about 6 people. Unfortunately, we lost a woman in it. And these are all the same people. They belong to one grandfather. And yet, over a piece of land, that is the conflict. And the land issue, I understand, is also in court. Why can't you live and wait for the court judgment? Just a piece of land. It is signals backwards. Signals that Upper West was a peaceful place. It has now come that every time Upper West is the news for the bad reason. I think that our chiefs, fortunately, are on the side of peace, and I want to urge them to continue to lead our people so that we all understand that we can't achieve anything through war.
A similar festival, known as the Kukuru Bagri, was also marked by the chiefs and people of the Filemo traditional area. There have been protracted land disputes between the people of Filemo and Nimoro, which is a threat to the peace and development of the area. Even the festival could not come on last year as a result of the protracted land dispute. However, Chieftaincy Minister Henry Sedudana assured the people that the government was not sleeping over the issue and that his ministry will work to find a lasting solution to the conflict.
The Ministry of Chieftaincy and Traditional Affairs, I can assure you, would do everything possible to ensure that we speed up the process of solving these nagging issues that seem to pervade this area, so that the people here would have good life, happiness, and peaceful coexistence. Governance is about the solution of problems. Indeed, that is why we need governance. Once these problems occur, it is natural to have dispute in human society. But when these disputes occur, those in charge must take steps to ensure the solution of the disputes.
Rafiq Salam's report from the Upper West region.
A A recent Joy News expose on the bad nature of the Summer Boy and Asare cocoa rows in the Amenfi West District has caught the attention of authorities there. Construction work is to commence next year, and when completed would ease the challenges faced by farmers in carting cocoa from their farms to various depots in the area. The project is part of a $150 million commitment by government towards the construction of cocoa rows in communities where the crop is grown across the country. Correspondent William Benjamin Peters has more.
Joy News recently aired a story on the bad state of cocoa roads in the Amenfi West District of the Western region, leading to cocoa beans getting stuck on farms and commercial drivers charging exorbitantly as a result of the bad roads. This caught the attention of authorities, and the matter was one of the main subjects captured for discussion during the third ordinary meeting of the 4th Amenfi West District Assembly, which took place at Asankregua. The district chief executive for Amenfi West District, Samuel Victor Miesu, in his address attributed the bad road network in the district to the rain pattern, but he was quick to add that the district will benefit from the construction of the various cocoa roads as part of the release of $150 million by government to fix bad roads across the country. Some of the roads to benefit from this construction include a 13-kilometer gravel yard to Prestia and Kwanta Road, Mumuni Camp, Asankregua Yurahu, 11-kilometer Nyamini Junction Road, Asankregua to Musiaso with a 9.40 kilometer stretch, and Sireso to Summer Boy is also about 14.0 kilometers. The DCE further disclosed that the district, as of 31st October 2014, mobilized a total revenue of over 1.7 million cedis, while the total expenditure for the period stands at over 1.705 million cedis, leaving an excess revenue over expenditure with over 63 million Ghana cedis. Samuel Victor Miesu later in an interview said all the broken wooden bridges, as reported by Joy News, will be constructed alongside the road by the contractor known as Legna Construction by next year.
An entity, you have a wide range of challenges when it comes to road construction in the districts, and one of the important ones is actually making the district face a lot of road is Amoku, Kwanta Road. In actual fact, the road is under construction, and to the best of my knowledge, they have been able to construct about 114 culverts.
You're still watching the Primetime Bulletin here on Joy News on Multi TV and also on ABN TV across Europe. You're welcome back, and let's do some sports now. Ghana opened its Africa Cup of Nations training in Accra on New Year's Eve as 15 players reported for the opening day. The Black Stars began Wednesday afternoon's workout under the supervision of assistant coach Maxwell Konedu and a fitness trainer at the Lizzie Sports Complex in Accra. Players who were at today's opening training session include Fatau Dauda, Stephen Adams, Enes Soa, Frank Champon, Edwin Jima, David Akam, Wal Mohammed, Kwabna Eduse, Jonathan Mensah, Rabil Mohammed, Asamoah, Daniel Amate, Moro Ibrahim, and Enoch Edu Kofi. Avram Grant's side will begin their 2015 Africa Cup of Nations campaign with an opening clash against Senegal in Group C. The Black Stars are pitted with Senegal, South Africa and Algeria in next year's finals in Equatorial Guinea. The tournament starts from 17th of January to 8th February in Equatorial Guinea next year. Liverpool's American owners have told supporters they are encouraged by recent performances. Manager Brendan Rodgers had been under recent scrutiny with his team 11th in the Premier League and out of the Champions League at the group stages, but successive league wins have lifted them to 8th, 5 points behind 4th place Southampton. Chairman Tom Werner said, "We are pleased to see a number of positive signs as new players start to settle." Liverpool were in sight of their first Premier League title last term before finishing runners-up 2 points behind champions Manchester City. Wigan owner Dave Whelan has been given a 6-week ban from all football-related activity and fined €50,000 for making racist comment about Jewish and Chinese people. The 78-year-old, who has a week to appeal against the punishment, was also ordered to attend an education program run by the Football Association last month. Whelan accepted a charge but denied remarks he made during a newspaper interview were racist. The FA Disciplinary Commission said it was satisfied Whelan is, quote, not a racist and did not intend to cause offense by his comment. Whelan stated in November that he would resign as Wigan chairman if he was found guilty of being a racist. Whelan subsequently apologized for any offense caused by his comment, in which he was defending the appointment of Malky Mackay as the club's new manager. Mackay is currently under investigation by the FA regarding allegations the Wigan boss sent sexist, racist and homophobic text messages during his time in charge at Cardiff. That's it for sports. New Year's resolution is a secular tradition that has become part of certain individuals. Individuals make promises to do an act of self-improvement or something slightly nice or different beginning from the New Year's Day. But the big question is, are people really able to keep up to their New Year resolutions? Joy News' Ivy Jenfi has been finding out how relevant are New Year's resolutions and what impacts they have on those who make them.
It's the last day of the year 2014, and as usual, people look back at the past year and try to improve on the year ahead by making resolutions.
My New Year resolution is 2014. I couldn't actually have enough time with my children and their family as well. So that was my priority in 2015, to have a good time with my family. And then the second one is my Christian life, actually, which is like very bad in 2014. And I can give myself 10% in my Christian activity for the 2014, which is so bad. So I'm going to work on that too. And then my career lies in the area of work. My target is to get my own company by the end of 2015.
My body, I want a flat tummy. I wouldn't mind just a little mass body, yes. So I'm gonna go into the gym, eat well, sleep a lot. In fact, go to church more often, yes.
Next year I'm wishing for more good things happening in my life, and I'm wishing to go higher and advance well in life.
Some of these resolutions do not live long enough to see the second quarter of the year. This calls for the question, are New Year's resolutions still relevant?
Yeah, it is. It is. Just like you said, some realistic, some not. Not all people can meet targets, but it's good to make promises. It's good to make targets for yourselves. Next year by this time, I'll be able to do this, I'll be able to do that. I know a lot of people cannot meet it, but a lot more can also meet it. So it's better to make plans for the following year, the year coming. You see, but before then, you have to assess yourself what you did for the previous year. Let's take 2014, for instance. 2014 began from 1st January, just as we're going tomorrow. So if you made any promise for yourself, you need to assess yourself from 1st January 2014 to 31st December 2014. What have you been able to achieve? It's better for you to do that, and then you plan for the following year too. That is coming 2015. So it's good to make plans for the following year coming. It's good.
What are your New Year's resolutions? As you make them, try and keep them realistic and sustainable. Ivy Jenfi reporting for Joy News.
December 31st watch night service in recent times has taken a very fascinating dimension. Now, churches are trying to outdo each other through massive publicity in order to attract congregants to the annual event. Ahead of the occasion, Joy News' Ridwan Karim Dini Osman toured parts of the capital of Accra to find out what informs catchphrases seen and banners and billboards that are announcing the watch night services.
On Wednesday, millions of Ghanaians, particularly occasional church attendants, will throng churches and large open spaces for the annual watch night services, christened in various themes and slogans. Billboards, banners and posters bearing themes for the services are not an uncommon sight in many parts of the country, particularly in Accra. A walk through the city indicates that despite the enormity and variety of themes and slogans, one catchphrase cuts across: crossover.
Everybody is doing crossover, that is crossing one year over to another year, and there are a lot of ceremonies. I think all these things is to invite people, to give people the opportunity to come and hear the gospel preached.
It's not something that is new. We are picking it from Exodus when the Israelites crossed the Red Sea to the other side.
But others would want to see it as a kind of warfare with the enemy, you know, in the year ahead of us.
At the Assemblies of God Church at Sakumono, Reverend Frimpong Manson, General Superintendent of the church, will center his watch night sermon on the theme Empowered by the Spirit.
Our emphasis will be on missions, challenging and encouraging the people to take the gospel of Christ to people who have not heard the gospel before.
Also in Abosiokai, the Bethel Prayer Ministry International, led by Apostle Samuel Jemfi, will preach on the theme, My Year of Greater Works in Christ Jesus.
So it's a call that Christians should wake up, and for that matter, Bethel Prayer Ministry International should wake up and take our positions to do exploits much more better. So it's more or less, it's greater works for greater productivity.
Some pastors told the news team that watch night service themes are evaluated by leadership of their churches to ascertain whether they will make the desired impact. General Superintendent for the Assemblies of God Church, Reverend Frimpong Manson, advised other churches to use watch night services as an opportunity for rededication and let their themes reflect their vision.
Sometimes it looks as if we are promoting people rather than Christ. We spend so much time promoting church leaders, funders, prophets, pastors, and sometimes I even get embarrassed when I see people making banners with me. It is not important. What is important is the master whom we believe and whom we are serving. So the thing is not physical battle. So wearing military uniform on platform doesn't mean that you're going to face Satan, you know, going to fight him with your guns or your bullets, or you're going to do a physical battle. It is a spiritual battle.
As churches continue with preparations to make their watch night services memorable, many will look forward to the exact time when there will be a transition from 2014 to 2015. Ridwan Karim Dini Osman, Joy News, Accra.
Well, we'll wait and see. Up next is business news. Back now, air travels for the festive season have gone up according to players in that industry, especially those in the domestic airline industry. Now, although the airlines recorded full capacity for their craft and have made some good sales, though the festive season, they contend the economic challenges in 2014 affected their overall operations.
The Christmas and New Year celebrations present a good opportunity for many to travel home and have a good time with family and friends. For the middle class, the best mode of traveling is by air, and for local airline managers, the season has been a good one for business.
Passenger throughput for this festive period has been very encouraging as compared to last year, to be very specific, in exception of Takrady route, which for the past 3 months now, we've had this setback of Ebola, and Takoradi is an oil company, and most of the expatriates do hills there, so we have a very less traffic moving to Takoradi. But in all, for the festive period, Christmas and New Year, we're projecting higher frequency, especially on my Tamale routes.
We are not going to Tamale at the moment, maybe next year, but for Kumasi, there's a lot of people going to Kumasi. We had 4 flights to Kumasi since the beginning of the Christmas. In fact, it started way before Christmas and up to now. We have a capacity of 94 passengers, so we do carry 94 most of the time. In fact, for the past, the average is about 90 cut across since the beginning of the Christmas season, and it's okay. It's okay. Just that for Takoradi we go there, but Takoradi, most of them have gone on holidays, a break because of the oil companies. Probably have gone on a break, so the load is not very good in Takoradi route. But Kumasi is okay with us.
The season comes as a respite to these domestic airlines following a rather turbulent year.
From the start of the year, we're buying a liter of fuel of close to it was close to 2.55 per liter. As of today, we buy it as 3.31, and which is making operation costs very expensive. From January to today, I can confidently say we've lifted so far close to 250,000 passengers. It's actually close to a decline of 2%. Yeah, so that's why in total I keep saying that last year was better than this year in terms of passenger throughput.
Starboard Airline was also hard hit with a free fall of the cedi this year.
Most of our expenditure, like all the expenses that we do make, mostly about 85% is foreign based. So we had to change a lot of money or transfer a lot of money to pay for insurances, our spare parts, and all kind of stuff. So it's really had a serious effect on our operations. And we employ expatriates as well, and we got to pay them in dollars. So you have to pay more cedis to be able to catch up with the cedi with the dollar. So that was really a bad situation. It's very big challenge for us. But with the cedi now stable, we hope that it stays that way, that we can do a better planning for next year.
Both airlines commended government for fixing the Kumasi airport for them, a move they contend will enhance their operations for 2015 as they resume their night flights and Takoradi flights. Abigail Admakunchi for Joy News.
The Ghana Grid Company, Gridco, says it will continue to transmit enough power to ease the load shedding. They are saying they will ease the load shedding exercise through the next year till January 4. Manager of the System Control Center of Gridco, Frank Autry, told Joy News Gridco is liaising with Côte d'Ivoire for generation while mopping power from industries on break to boost the power generation through the festive season.
Ghanaians in the past week through the Christmas festivities have been relieved of some power outages as promised by the national power transmitters Gridco. For Gridco, somewhat doing away with doomsday in the festive season has been a Herculean task.
We contacted a number of industries. We're talking about the big industries like the mines, some cement factories, and other big factories around the country who most of them take power directly from the grid. And many of them, we agreed with them a way for them to reduce their consumption during the festivities. And so the good thing is that a lot of them complied, and we were able to get as much as 104 megawatt relief on the demand side. We worked with Côte d'Ivoire, our sisters. We've had long relations over the years where whenever they are in shortage of supply, we have helped them in the past. They also came to our aid, especially on the Christmas Day, the 25th, the 26th, and then some of the days ensuing. They also have challenges with gas, so it's not every day that they are able to give us supply. As we are speaking today, they have not been able to give supply. But I believe strongly that, God willing, tomorrow they might be able to come in and give us a little bit of supply.
For many, such measures could persist for constant ease in the load-shedding exercise, but Greco says that is not sustainable.
What we did over the holidays can only be short-term. You can't keep cutting industry for too long, otherwise the economy itself will be affected. And so really I must congratulate all the industries which participated. Today being 31st, we are all looking forward to having our watch night services. People are going to go out, and so we hope to be able to not take off load, if any, very small, so that most people would enjoy. Basically, we believe that for the period from now till Sunday, people should be able to enjoy a lot of supply. But we still have a shortage of supply. A lot of work is being done to bring in additional generation and also to restore some of the existing generation that had gone down.
Fankotre added that the ongoing TICO expansion works on its gas turbines will be over by end of January and will come on stream to augment the power generation. Abigail Adamakunchi for Joy News.
China's manufacturing activity shrank for the first time in 7 months in December, a private survey showed on Wednesday. The final HSBC Market Purchasing Managers Index was at 49.6%, but just below 50% level that from. The reading was slightly higher than an initial flash number of 49.5 released earlier this month, but the result was still down from a final reading of 50 in November. The most recent data paints an even weaker picture of the slowing Chinese economy, which has been heralded as the factory of the world. New factory orders contracted for the first time since April. The economy data also backs the series of surprising moves by its government to boost growth in the past 2 months.
Business News was brought to you.
Let's do some showbiz now, and perhaps one of the many issues that rocked this year were the many sex scandals that leaked on social media platforms, including Facebook and Twitter. Whereas these sex scandals got many Ghanaians wondering what at all will motivate people from celebrities to commoners to do a video recording of their sexual acts. It now seems the issue of sex scandals have come to stay, and come to 2015, we might even witness more. Joy News brings you some of the most astonishing sex scandals that occurred in 2014.
You're a celebrity. When KKD's alleged rape scandal filtered the various media outlets, especially on Facebook and Twitter, many did not spare the moment to either castigate him or defend him. It's a good thing that the case is in court. But in Ghana, there are two types of court: the law courts and the courts of the public opinion. In the law court, you can always win or lose your case depending on the facts presented by your lawyers and the ruling of the judge. But in the court of public opinion, the facts do not really matter. What matters is what the public thinks about your action. And boy, when you lose a case in the court of public opinion, you're doomed. The trial in the KKD case starts on January 8, 2015. The law court will decide on the ruling of the case, but it seems the case has already been decided in the court of public opinion. If you don't believe, why not check Facebook to read what people are saying about the alleged rape scandal. Now in August this year, we were hit with a series of sex tapes, this time not from Accra, but all the way from Tamale, involving a gentleman who had bonked a number of women and videotaped it. Reports had it that the guy bonked over 30 women and was declared wanted by the chiefs and the people of Tamale. The young man, we are told, is chilling out of the country, whilst his victims had to face the brunt of their actions. Wonders will never end. Do you remember the son of Ghana's foreign minister sex scandal with the alleged underage girl of 15 years? Shh, no comment. Let's go to Kumasi. The Nana Abina sex scandal was perhaps the hottest among the lot. It had ratings similar to a Kim Kardashian sex tape in the US. Wondering what would have motivated these two young people to record their sex escapades? Well, I'm wondering same. Perhaps you can tell me. Let me end my 2014 sex scandal review with a musician. It's Tiffany's sex tape. Oh, that was way bad, and many could not help but to feel sorry for her. With all these sex tapes that leaked this year, you can only sigh and hope the 2015 spares us the burnt of seeing two people bunking themselves to ecstasy on camera. Rebecca Dakon for Joy News.
That's it for Showbiz. This is where we draw the curtain, but before we go, a look again at our top stories. President John Mahama is assuring Ghanaians of a prosperous 2015 and promises to listen to their concerns. Fire has gutted the Dome markets, destroying properties running into thousands of Ghana cedis. Chief Executive Officer of the National Petroleum Authority, Moses Asare, has announced a 10% reduction in fuel prices beginning January 1, 2015. The Samreboy and Asankwegwa cocoa roads in the Amenfi West District of the Western Region are to be rehabilitated following Joy News' expose of the nature of roads there. Also in this bulletin, we told you about some interesting catchphrases and themes that churches are using this year to draw more worshippers to their watch night services tonight. In news elsewhere, revelers across the globe have gathered in New Zealand and Australia to usher in New Year's Day. Many thanks for being with us throughout the year. My name is Gifty Ando Apia. We wish you all a very happy new year. But there's more news at myjoyonline.com and multitvworld.com. Up next is PM Express with Nana and Sakwao. Please stay blessed.